There's a lot of good books that teaches you all this. The Tao of Love and Sex is a very good book. Very good book for teaching all these techniques. All the ones I've been talking about. That Barbara Kiesling book, you got to have that book and you got to just do the exercises. There's exercises for a woman to do by herself. But if she ain't doing it, there's exercises for both of you to do together, or even if she is doing it, double up. You're kind of helping her. There's some Kegels in there. You have to develop your muscle tone right, but then there's just a certain skill. Though, if the muscles aren't toned, it's probably not going to work. But if her muscles get toned good, then all of a sudden it just flattens and opens. I don't understand it, but just kind of, it was like this, and then it goes like this, kind of. It just opens up. And opens up all these really sensitive nerve endings, incredibly sensitive. Yeah, maybe over one of these, I'll get a book out. The Kama Sutra is a good book. Kama Sutra is my favorite book. It gives you it explains about uh, fellatio. It's not what you think. It's not what you think it is. It is nothing like what you think it is. But if you read the Kama Sutra, I mean, you probably don't even do that, really. But if you were to do it for certain circumstances, knowing how to do it is thrilling. How to do it right. It's all about, the whole thing that's great about the Kama Sutra is teaching you the tone. Teaching you the tone to be a lover, to be a citizen, to be a fun guy or fun girl. Oh, it seems a little sexist, maybe, but it's I don't I don't see it that way. The women are better at this than the men. The whole thing about the Kama Sutra is like you just want to become this guy who's having a lot of fun, or this girl who's having a lot of fun, and it's a lot of, it's probably a lot of drama, but a lot of it's just kind of for fun. The woman pretends all this stuff, the man pretends all this stuff. It's just all about seduction, It's all about seduction, and that this is all fun stuff if you play it kind of to the hilt. Uh, it's like guys getting girls to have sex, and girls kind of having sex and having fun, but having power over guys and get the guys to chase them around, give them everything they got, money and whatever, sensual pleasure, or goodies, anything. It's just fun. To be the one chasing is fun. That is really fun to be. The fun. It's really fun to be coy. The whole thing about the Kama Sutra is to teach you that it's really fun to be coy and playful. It's really fun to make this into a fun game. Playing hard to get sometimes, and sometimes maybe you're the aggressor, but one of you ought to chase and the other one ought to be chased. That's just fucking fun. There ain't no more fun than that. And then you can take turns. Maybe now it's the other guy's turn to chase and the other one's turn to be coy. sex is the funniest thing there is, man, and there's a lot of, well, you can learn a lot, and what you really learn is kind of the indirect method, really, how to do things indirectly, and just how to be a real skillful and effective person in the world. But you're getting enlightened, man. This woman, you're teaching her how to rule the universe and empower everybody around her as Buddhas. And the men that don't quite know very much, the women teach them, and the women that don't know quite much, the men teach them. But usually it's the women teaching the men and the women. Women teach everybody normally. But, there's smart men out there teaching. Everybody teaches whoever needs to be taught, I don't know. It's so interesting. Karmamudra talks a lot about kissing, a lot about caressing, and the really fun, important thing is the biting and marking with the nails. Biting and marking with the nails. Biting and marking with the nails is like a tremendous art. It's feels so good to have somebody who knows what they're doing bite you and mark you with their nails in the right way. Gentle or strong, whatever. It's like on a woman's breast, but not just on her breast, on her butt or on the inside of her thighs. When you're in the middle of lovemaking, you start marking her with your nails or just scratching her with your nails or just making a line with your nails. Like on the back, different people on the back, it's just beyond belief for me, man. Scratch my back and I'll follow you anywhere. I'll be your slave. All you gotta do is scratch my back and I will crawl across burning sands to go find you. These nails are incredible. For somebody who knows what they're doing, oh my God, just drive them wild. But, you mark them up, bite their lips too. It's just like a little, I don't know what it is. Sometimes you're being ravished and sometimes you're doing the ravishing. It might be better to be ravished, but somebody's got to do ravishing, and that guy is highly thought of too. Whoever can do the ravishing you'd fall in love with them without question. You can't do anything else, and whoever's being ravished is having a good time too. But there's a certain kind of there's a certain kind of holding back. There's always a certain kind of holding back, You don't give it all. You get them excited, but you got more to go, You got more tricks up your sleeve. So you're never like going in there blowing your wad, it's just not like that. It's a game, but you keep no, I don't know, we might talk about intercourse. Women want it deep, they want it now, they want it big. But that is hard. There's certain things in intercourse that make you strong, and there's certain things that make you weak for the man, let's say. deep makes the man weak. Too much deep and he's going to come like that. That's weak. It's over. Well, what about the 4 orgasms? What about the Abhishek? Fucking over. And also, there's this thing that happens when the man admits. Up until then, his partner is just this object of his desire and is just everything, all he cares about is pleasing her, keeping her going, helping her, forward joys. But as soon as he comes, he's a little depressed, number one. But what was the object of desire is neutral or aversion. At best, neutral. You got no sense that she's the object of your desire anymore. That ship has sailed. And it's just like, it's a sad thing, it shouldn't have happened. You shouldn't ever let that happen. Never let that happen. Never let that happen. You should never let that happen. If you don't let that happen, you got hours and hours and hours of loving on this woman and treating her like a goddess and making her so happy. Instead, you roll over and fall asleep and she's pissed. You're depressed and incommunicado or what, it's just, everything goes south at that point. Everything goes bad. All that was good goes out the window and it's all turned to shit. Whereas if you didn't come, it would just keep going in a good way. You gotta really think about these things. And the main point is just try to not come too soon. But try to retain your semen. And you almost gotta play a game of deceit. I'll explain as we go along how that might work, but the man wants to go shallow medium. He can't just go shallow forever. The woman's gonna go, what the hell's going on? You're not giving me nothing. Even though it should just relax. That shallow could drive her crazy if she would just relax. But she's got to have a little more of it. She has to have more than just shallow. But shallow can be fine. Alternating shallow and deep can be great. But the woman's got to reprogram herself a little bit. But you got to give her some medium. You start out shallow. Maybe you start out 9 shallow, 1 medium. But you got to emphasize that medium. You got to act like you're bringing everything in, but you don't. Sort of act like you're doing more toward going deep than you are. I think that. I don't know. Maybe other people have different. But I really believed, that a lot of the time I was acting like I was really giving it her my all when I was really holding back. But somehow you need to do that, I think. First maybe it's 9 shallow, 1 medium, 9 shallow, slow, but eventually but it just depends on you and how well you do not want to come. You do not want to even take a chance of coming, so you gotta hold back, but that deep is gonna be something else at this stage of the game. Everything is just so heightened. But you gotta hold something back. You cannot go all the way deep. You gotta just lay back a little bit, even though you're giving her the impression you're going pretty deep. And compared to shallow, you are, She have to make that change seem bigger than it might be if you didn't emphasize it a certain way. They have some beautiful, beautiful imagery in this Tao of sex. I'll go see if I can find it. I think my sex books are all in the bedroom. Your sex books should be in the bedroom. No other books in the bedroom, just sex books. That's it.